Thank you all for joining this morning. I would like to call the SLDC Board of Directors meeting to order on August 17th, 2023 at 8:05 a.m. Can I have a roll call, please?
Sure. Director Arnold.
Director Arnold, are you present?
He is, his audio is not working.
He put his thumb, gave us a thumbs up. So
Yeah, he is there.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard.
Here.
Director Gilbert.
Here.
Director McBride.
Here.
Director Reed.
Here.
Director Sean Spencer.
Present.
Alderwoman Spencer.
he just put here in the chat.
Got it. And Chair Richardson.
Present. With that, we have a quorum. To begin our meeting, I would definitely like to welcome Director Arnold, who's joining us as the new chair of the LRA Commission. So we'd like to welcome him and thank him for joining us. Director Arnold, have you been able to get your audio to work? Okay. If not, we'll be sure throughout this meeting today, you have the opportunity to introduce yourself to the illustrious SLDC Board of Directors. With that, the first matter on our agenda today is the approval of the minutes from the July 20th, 2023 regular scheduled board meeting that was held via Zoom. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So move, McBride.
Second, Gilbert.
With a motion and a second to approve the minutes from July 20th, can I please have a roll call vote?
Sure. Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. Aye. Director Gilbert.
You can continue, please, Laura.
Sure. Okay. Director Gilbert.
Aye.
Director McBride.
Aye.
Director Reed.
Aye.
Director Sean Spencer.
Abstain.
Director Arnold.
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer. Okay, and Chair Richardson.
Aye.
Need to leave this up.
With that, the motion passes to approve the minutes from the July 20th, 2023 regular board meeting. The first resolution that we have before us today is resolution number 23 SLDC 902, adopting a short list of pre-qualified firms to provide environmental engineering services as required. For the presentation today, I would like to pass it over to Mr. Peter Phillips.
Thank you, and good morning, directors. So if you recall, back in March, we requested and you authorized for us to solicit a request for qualifications for environmental engineering services for SLDC and its affiliate boards, and also to form a selection committee in order to provide you with a recommendation of firms for that pre-qualified shortlist for those services moving forward. And this resolution is adopting this recommended shortlist. You'll see here the list of firms: Tetra Tech Professional Environmental Engineers, Terracon, Shannon and Wilson Geotechnology, AECOM, SCS Engineers, SCI Engineering, and Environmental Operations are recommended for inclusion on this pre-qualified shortlist. As a note, this is every firm that responded. We are recommending every firm. And so the reason we were basically looking for all the firms that can provide services related to assessment and maybe, which would be phase 1, phase 2 assessment investigation. It would also be risk assessment, cleanup planning, potentially grant writing, management assistance, things of that nature. This is related, again, more to those types of services as opposed to remediation. Remediation would be a separate process that would be bid out separately. And so the way this will work is as we have the need for environmental services and investigation, which does arise from our brownfield program that is funded mostly through the EPA grants, and we also have the availability to use some ARPA funds on other projects as they arise. We will send out the project scopes to the short list for them to submit proposals on an individual basis, and then contracts will be brought back to the board for approval. So at this time, if you have any, I'll open it up for questions if you have any further questions.
Any questions from the directors related to this matter? Hearing none, I would like to entertain a motion to approve, sorry, one second, resolution number 23 SLDC 902.
So move, Gilbert.
Second, Sean Spencer.
I have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 23 SLDC 902. Can I have a roll call vote, please? Roll call vote.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard,
Aye.
Director Gilbert,
Aye.
Director McBride,
Aye.
Director Reed,
Aye.
Director Sean Spencer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer.
Yeah, she said aye in the chat.
Okay.
That's what happened.
And Director Arnold
Aye.
and Chair Richardson.
Aye. With that, the motion passes to approve resolution number 23 SODC 902. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 23 SODC 903, authorizing and approving the expenditure of funds for the St. Louis Coalition at the 2024 GEOINT Symposium in Orlando, Florida. I'll pass it over to our Vice President of Strategic Partnerships and Initiatives, Mr. Stephen Davis, for the presentation.
Thank you, Chairman Richardson, and good morning, everyone. I know it seems like just yesterday we were hosting the 2023 GEOINT Symposium here in St. Louis, but planning is already underway for 2024. So this resolution approves and authorizes SLDC to sponsor and contribute to the overall St. Louis region's participation in the 2024 GEOINT Symposium by providing up to $21,600 to secure the booth space, provide overhead signage and AV needs for the St. Louis group that will be heading down to Florida. Quick background, this is an annual event that we've been sponsoring since 2019, and it provides a great opportunity and business attraction opportunity for St. Louis to showcase our geospatial ecosystem that's growing here in St. Louis. So with that, I'll open up for any questions.
Director Spencer.
Stephen, maybe you could give us a quick update on the construction at NGA, since we're kind of talking about that
Sure.
in general today, and also maybe the improvements along Jefferson Avenue. There's a lot of positive momentum over there, and I just was wondering about those infrastructure improvements too. Obviously, we need to be in Orlando, and this budget's appropriate, but might be a good time to get some more information.
No, absolutely. If you haven't been up on Jefferson and Cass recently, the building, the exterior is completely done. So right now they're working on the interior of the building, which is slated to open in 2026 when all 3,700 employees move up there. I may ask Rob Orr to chime in here as far as the infrastructure improvements, but if you do drive along Jefferson, you'll notice there was a lot of construction cones up there, and they're getting to work. They're ripping up the streets and about to redo Cass and Jefferson and 20th to connect 20th Street to downtown. So yeah, good things are happening. We're getting a lot of interest about properties around the NGA. Not only retail companies wanting to be in close proximity, but also geospatial companies who contract with the NGA. They definitely want to be nearby, and that interest is definitely leveling up.
Great.
Rob, are you available? Speak to the infrastructure.
Yeah, so there are a total of about 8, I think, projects that have been identified that were approved by the Missouri Department of Economic Development and the city to fund in order to retain and help develop the neighborhoods around the NGA. So it's not just based on the NGA locating here, but also improving the neighborhoods. Many of those are underway. If some of them you have seen are already complete. Some of the streets right around the MLS soccer stadium, which really was a result of the NGA locating where it did, because it allowed us to reconfigure the intersection at I-64 and Jefferson. And that created opportunities for surplus land to be deployed for the soccer stadium and the practice complex and the team store. So those projects are nearing completion. Some of them are, but currently they're working on Jefferson from Shoto on the south all the way to Natural Bridge on the north. Excuse me. A companion project that was funded by the federal build program is 20th Street, which will contain a bicycle, a separated bike path, basically from Market on the south to St. Louis Avenue on the north. And then that project will probably be out for bid late this year or early next year, and about an 18-month construction time period. So really excited about that one. It goes along the east side of the soccer stadium and connects all the way up to Cass. And then currently in design is Cass Avenue. Originally it was contemplated as being 2 segments, but we've merged them into one, and we'll be seeking federal funding. And that is Cass Avenue from Tucker, the exit off of I-70 eastbound, all the way to North Grand Avenue, which connects with the Brick Line at that point. So really a lot of exciting things are happening in the downtown west and near north downtown regarding infrastructure. All in is about $154 million of investment that's being deployed in this area. We're experiencing some cost overruns with inflation, so we're hopeful to get all of those projects done. And then ultimately there are 2 final projects that are on the agenda for being completed, and that is 22nd Street on the east side of the NGA that runs from Cass Avenue north to St. Louis Avenue, and then St. Louis Avenue itself that will extend from the I-70 exit at St. Louis Avenue, which is approximately 11th Street, and that will go west to Jefferson Avenue. So we're excited about all this infrastructure. There's obviously some interim challenges in getting around Jefferson and Market and some of the streets that are affected, but we think at the end of the day, there's going to be some really great infrastructure improvements made to support not only our downtown west development that is largely spurred by the soccer stadium, but also obviously the NGA, which was a catalyst for all of this. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you for the very thorough update, Rob. Any other questions, comments from the directors? Hearing none, I would like to entertain a motion to approve resolution number 23 SLDC 903.
So moved, Sean Spencer.
Second, Gilbert.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. Aye. Director Gilbert,
Aye.
Director McBride,
Aye.
Director Reed,
Aye.
Director Sean Spencer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer.
You put aye in the chat.
Okay, Director Arnold
Aye.
and Chair Richardson.
Aye. With that, the motion passes to approve resolution number 23 SODC 903. Steve, make sure you bring back some goodies from Orlando.
We'll bring back, better than that, we'll bring back some business.
There you go. Next item on the agenda is resolution number 23 SODC 904. Approving the employee handbook updates. Ms. Kelly King, can you please give us a presentation? And for those who don't know, Ms. Kelly, she is the Senior Vice President, our Director of Human Resources at the St. Louis Development Corporation. So, Kelly.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. We are presenting this today because in 1990, we originally presented this to require a residency for all of our employees. And now we are looking to eliminate that residency requirement. Governor Parson signed in July a bill eliminating that requirement for municipal employees. And St. Louis is also eliminating that policy. So we would like to do that as well, because we feel like as far as retention and recruitment, it will help in those efforts.
Thank you, Ms. King, for that update. And so as you all know, we approved the employee handbook several months ago and through the directors meeting. And as we continue to make updates and revisions to the handbook, we want to make sure that the directors are fully abreast of some of those changes. And with something of importance as the residency requirement, it's definitely important for us to get approval from the board to update that process and that policy within our handbook. And so as we move forward, as Ms. King spoke to, we want to stay aligned with the state and also the city of St. Louis as it relates to requirements for employment. Again, we are not a part of the city, a department of the city, but we would like to stay aligned with the city policies. But also, as Ms. King spoke to, this will allow SLDC to be more attractive for others across the region to learn more about the city of St. Louis, work for the city of St. Louis and SLDC, and hopefully be able to even attract them to move into the city, ultimately improving our overall population, which is a goal for SLDC as well as the city of St. Louis overall. So I think this is a positive move for us, but I'm definitely open to any additional feedback or comments from the directors today. Okay. Hearing none, I would like to entertain a motion to approve resolution number 23 SLDC 904.
So move. Sean Spencer, request a previous role.
Do I have a second for previous role?
Second, McBride.
There's been a request for previous role and a second on that motion. Any objections to previous role? Abstentions? Hearing none, the motion passes per previous role to approve resolution 23 SLDC 904. The next item on the agenda is open agenda, the director's report. And with me being the director, I would like to present to us today a video from Positively St. Louis. As you all are aware, we have engaged with media partners such as Fox 2, KPLR 11, as it relates to being able to really shape the narrative for St. Louis and being able to highlight some of the positive stories that we are moving forward with in the city of St. Louis, whether it's through the American Rescue Plan Act or the very positive developments that we're having with NGA and the soccer stadium, the great work that we're doing in North St. Louis City and areas of Southeast as it relates to improving access to affordable housing and ownership opportunities, being able to highlight the hard work of the team of the city and the things that we approve within this board. And so with that, I'll pass it over to Ms. Sarah Freetley that will present the Positively St. Louis video for this month.
Great, thank you, Mr. Richardson. As he mentioned, this is the segment that ran on Fox 2 and KPLR on July 28th. The next segment will run on August 25th, 7 p.m. on KPLR, 6 p.m. on Fox 2. So here we go with this video from what was aired in July.
Well, in an Well, in an effort to promote positive messages and showcase ongoing momentum around St. Louis's Economic Justice Action Plan, we've partnered with the St. Louis Development Corporation, SLDC, on a new monthly segment. It is called Positively St. Louis. This month, Fox 2's Kelly Hoskins will feature affordable housing made possible by the agency's creation of housing access through the Economic Justice Action Plan and Neighborhood Stabilization Revolving Loan Fund.
The St. Louis Development Corporation is on a mission to uplift, empower, and bring hope to neighborhoods and strengthen families. The nonprofit organization funds loans, business development, land redevelopment, and other major financial investments within the city of St. Louis. More specifically, North St. Louis City, to rebuild, renew, refresh, and reframe all of St. Louis City. SLDC will invest more than $24 million into neighborhoods by building and rehabbing affordable housing for St. Louis families to buy.
When you start building homes, when you start changing whole entire blocks, you're getting into root causes, you're creating jobs, you're changing infrastructure, you're sending a message of hope, you're not leaving broken lots and broken homes. And this is what makes this a positive message, because you're getting at the root of the issue. For me, this is the neighborhood that my parents grew up in.
Pastor Andre Alexander with the Tabernacle Community Development Corporation says the grants they receive will help build approximately 26 new affordable homes on Hebert Street, bringing stabilization for a neighborhood that's been neglected for years.
They're going to see a whole new block. This whole entire block will be changed. You'll have new construction, 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath homes, approximately 1,400 square feet. You will also see additional rehab homes.
This is exactly what the president and CEO of SLDC, Neil Richardson, wants to hear.
The Hebert Street project is a phenomenal set of work that's been done by a great grassroots organization, Tabernacle Community Development Corporation, led by Pastor Andre Alexander. They're doing some phenomenal work to be able to create not just affordable housing, but creating the pathway to ownership through affordable home ownership opportunities, building over 20 homes that will be made available to over 20 residents within North St. Louis City. In the neighborhood in which Tabernacle CDC is developing these homes, there hasn't been a home purchased in over 10 years in that area. And that doesn't only impact the current residents, but that impacts the future residents to have a desire to want to live there. And so our goal is to be able to stimulate that private investment, that private growth, by inserting investments through the American Rescue Plan Act dollars that provides grants to subsidize home ownership, but then also provides opportunities for those that are at $76,000 or below to purchase homes in these growing areas so they can bring back vibrancy and revitalization to a neighborhood that's desperately in need. And that's really the goal of SLDC, is to be able to create economic opportunities where they currently don't exist.
Habitat for Humanity St. Louis, Tabernacle Community Development Corporation Hebert Homes Project are one of the first beneficiaries of the Housing Access and Neighborhood Stabilization Revolving Loan Fund.
This is about sending a message of hope to a neighborhood and to a community in an area where they've seen so much removed, as well as they've seen so many empty and false promises. This is about righting wrongs. This is about doing what's right. This is about seeing not just physical investment, but people investment. It is a dream, and I would venture to say many residents probably have felt like over the years a dream that's been deferred. And this allows us through this funding stream from SLDC to take a dream deferred and make it a reality so that it's not a dream denied.
The program is targeted for families earning 80% of the area median income or less, which is about $75,900 for a family of 4. The program will offer wealth-building pathways to home ownership in at-risk neighborhoods. Pastor Alexander says that this project will bring much-needed housing to the community. It will also allow the organization to hire minority contractors and skilled employees with ties to the community. And this is just phase 1 of a 10 to 15-year development plan that looks at transformation where people live, work, and play. And this is what Positively St. Louis looks like. Kelly Hoskins, Fox 2 News.
And you can find this story and learn more at developstlouis.org/ positively STL.
I think that's just an incredible testament again to the hard work of this group. I know we put a lot of energy and time into getting the resources allocated specifically around the American Rescue Plan Act. It's taken, a lot of time and momentum in order for us to get these funds approved, go through the due diligence process. I would like to definitely give a highlight to Ms. Lorna Alexander, who leads our compliance team, working very closely with our Community Development Administration and the Board of Aldermen, as well as the Mayor's Office, to ensure that we deploy these resources in a manner that aligns with the federal guidelines and meet those guidelines, but also helps us advance the Economic Justice Action Plan forward, and the work of Tabernacle Community Development Corporation, as well as Habitat for Humanity, really starting to rebuild these neighborhoods and creating new markets is aligned with the purpose of SLDC. So I just wanted to ensure that the board had the opportunity to see, some of the work that we are actually doing in community as a result of the decisions that we make within these meetings. So very appreciative of each of you and thankful for the hard work of the SLDC staff to stand up these new programs, innovative programs, but much needed and impactful for these neighborhoods and communities. So with that, I would like to take us to our next item on the agenda, which is the announcement of our next regular board meeting, which is Thursday, September 21st, 2023, held at 8 a.m. Via Zoom. Do we have any comments from the directors before we adjourn today?
You were going to introduce Director Arnold.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. I knew something I was missing. Thank you, Director Gilbert. Mr. Arnold, can you please introduce yourself as the newest member of the top development board in the whole country?
Well, first I want to say thanks everyone and thanks for being here. My name is Calvin Arnold and I'm also the commissioner of the LRA. I'm just welcome to be here and learn and just see what part I can play to help move this process.
Thank you, Director Arnold. We're very excited to have you. I know I had the opportunity to meet with you right before you joined the LRA commission, and I'm sure that they're keeping you very busy and occupied. So again, welcome, sir. Alderwoman Clark Hubbard.
Good morning, everyone. And good morning, Director Arnold. I just wanted to see if he could give us even just a little brief bio or background or where his passion lies when it comes to LRA here in the city of St. Louis.
Well, I'm from background. I was a manager. I retired. They brought me out of retirement. I retired from AT&T as a manager for 25 years. I've had a passion for the city of St. Louis for years. I don't know if you guys were familiar with the Norwood Square subdivision years ago. There was a nice subdivision in the city of St. Louis. It's in between Kings Highway and St. Louis Avenue, where Alderwoman Sharon Tyers is the alderman. But as far as I've always been committed to the city of St. Louis, as far as development and wanting to have better. And my focus mostly was for the North St. Louis. I always felt we was enfranchised on this North side. And so now I feel I can be a part of help moving forward to help develop this area in the city of St. Louis. And I just want to help bring back even my prior subdivision. I come from a large family of 12. My twin brother and I was 5 years old, and we decided to build when we first get a job, to buy my parents a home because we were poor. It was 12 of us in the home. And my father was a preacher, and I used to hear people making fun of us with all these kids and where we lived. So as a 5-year-old kid, me and my twin brother made a promise to buy our parents a home at 5 years old. And we made that dream come true. And that home was in the subdivision of Norwood Square subdivision. And we still own that home. So it it was a dream to me to help develop. And I love the community. I love the city. And I just want to be a part and see what I can do to help to do what, do what I can do to make it a better place to live.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Arnold. That's wealth building in action right there. You're a case study. So we got to put that story out there. Thank you, Director Hubbard, for Clark Hubbard, for acknowledging Mr. Arnold today. Any other comments or questions from the board? Okay. With that, I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move, Gilbert.
Second, McBride.
A motion in a second. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all. See you next month. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.